Today we're going to look at how to solve exponential systems on our calculator, because sometimes we really want to be precise, and it's always good to learn new tools and be able to use them. So let's look at the information we're given so we can get enough information to actually use our calculator. A new Concorde, because CPM likes funny name cars, that costs $27,000 and Consumer Report says it depreciates 6% per year, meaning that 94% is left. So simply when I want to find the multiplier, it must be 0.94. The Escalante, the one-year-old one, that was worth $70,000 new, would be worth $28,672 $72 3 years from now. So let's look at, they started the chart for us, so notice 3 years from now. If it's 1 year old, that means it's almost up here. It's this like -1 spot. So if I want to think about it, I need to multiply times my multiplier times b once, twice, 3, 4. So I need to do this problem where I do 70,000 times b to the 4th. That will be equal to 28,672. You divide by 70,000, divide by 70,000. Oh, and remember we talked about how to do a other root on our calculator. So if I go here, the first thing I'm going to type is 4. You go to math. You can go to that X root button. And then I'm also going to do alpha F1 to get that nice fraction in here so I can type in exactly what we wrote, which was 28,672 over 70,000. Let's see what we got. Oh my God, it comes out to a nice number. Now 4/5, remember as a multiplier, typically we use a decimal instead here. So I'm going to change 4/5 to 0.8. Wow, it's amazing that it just comes out to a beautiful number. All right, let's talk about our Tustang. So a historic 1967 Tustang, which currently costs this, but was worth 16. So it's actually getting more money. It's appreciating. So again, in year 0 up here, it was 16,500. So since that's a little simpler problem, 16,500 times the multiplier once will be 1,850. I can just divide. And you can see your multiplier will end up being 1.1. Again, it's getting more every time. So I'm going to be a little lazy in the sense that hopefully you can fill in this chart. The only thing you only do is 70,000 times 0.8, which should get you $56,000 currently. Do make sure that you're keeping everything in terms of money, but I'm going to go down here to the equations, and then we're going to talk about C on number 4 and how to do that on our calculator. So again, for here, I should get for this one that it's 27,000 times 0.94 to the n, 56,000 times 0.8 to the n, and 18,150 times 1.1 to the n. So really what I wanted to focus on to help you with your calculator is this last one. We're going to compare the Concorde, which had the equation 27,000 times 0.94 to the n, to the Tustang, and figure out if we can get it, I don't know, let's see if we can get it to the nearest 100th value just for practice, 1.1 to the n. Sorry, that's a little messy. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to go back to our calculator, and I'm going to go to my y equals button. And the first thing you may want to do is notice that the plot 1 is highlighted. That means my stat plot is on. If yours is off, that's awesome, but I'm going to just go up, press enter, and go back down to make sure the stat plot won't get in my way of graphing anything. So now I'm going to type in my things. 27,000 parentheses 0.94. Use your caret right there for the exponent to the x. Now I'm going to put in my other equation, which was, sorry, mine's underneath, so I got to see it, 18,150 times 1.1. Again, use that caret button that we saw down here to the x. Now, if I try to graph, it's going to look really funny because I'm probably zoomed in a weird spot. But let's just see what it looks like and we'll fix it from there. Let's talk about what we're thinking it would be. So mine's going to think and think and think, and I'm actually probably not going to be able to see it because if you look at what your starting values were, they were like thousands, tens of thousands. I doubt that's where your calculator was. So let's think about the values we may be wanting to look at. So hopefully you did fill out your chart at some point, and you realize that it should be somewhere between 2 to 3 years, and it should be somewhere between, I don't know, in the $20,000 to $25,000 range. So I'm going to choose my window. I'm not going to let it zoom for me. I'm going to say, well, I want this to go, I don't really need to start at, I'm going to start from 0 to 5. Again, I said it's about 2 to 3, so you could even zoom in more than that. But think about what these values are. I want this to be thousands of dollars. So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to go from about $20,000 to $25,000. And give it a second. It's calculating some big numbers, and we should start to see the two graphs come in. Remember, one is decreasing, one is increasing. So I should expect an X to come up. Amazing. You go, great. So where is that exact value? How can I let my calculator help me? So notice there's this button here in blue that says Calc. Hey, let's use that. Calculate what? Oh, I want to know where they, whoops, I missed it, intersect. Now the only weird thing about TIs is now it's going to say, which things do you want to find intersect? And they'll say, do you want this to be your first one? I go, yeah. Do you want that to be your second one? Yeah. Do you want to guess? No, you can just press enter. So basically if you would press enter 3 times, your screen will pop up with the exact intersection. So you can see that if it was going every day for a year, it would go at 2.5 to 7 years, and this would be the price of the car. How amazing is that it can find it so precisely? So if it's asking me around what time would I expect it, I'd expect it at about 2.53 years. Hopefully if you didn't quite get all that the first time, you can rewind and watch again. That's how you find an intersection between a system of exponentials.